everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I made these embellished tags and also how I made the bag topper. So what you're going to need is some scrap pieces of paper. I've just grabbed these out of my scrap box, and I'm going to make a pink and white themed set of embellished tags. So what I do is I trim them down to about 2 inches long by about 1.5 inches wide, and I do that with all of my scrap pieces of paper, and once that's done I'm going to show you how to make it. So to make these tags, all you need is some scrap paper. You could use a paper trimmer, makes it easier, but you don't need it. You could just use some scissors and a ruler, and you'll also need a hole punch. So I've cut all my pieces down, and what I'm going to do is, using my hole punch, I'm going to put it to about halfway through the hole punch, and I just punch it here, and on the corners I take off a very, very, very small amount, so it's hardly even done, and that's all of my little tickets cut out. So I did this to show you guys, that you don't need any dies or anything to make these little embellished tags. I am going to use my dies though to embellish these tags, but you don't need to. I've been using my die cutting machine a lot lately because I've been getting new dies, so when I was doing this I wanted to use my dies as much as possible. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to use my scrap pieces of paper, and I'm going to cut some strips. They're about half a centimetre wide by about 3.5 centimeters long. So I just want them to overhang the ticket a little bit, and I'm basically going to make a whole bunch of little banners. So that's what I'm doing here. I've cut all my strips out, and I'm cutting a line through the center, and then I join my areas up in the middle, and I'm going to do that with every single one of these little strips of scrap paper here. So here's all my strips right here, and then I have all of my little die cut pieces. I cut them all out with glitter cardstock, and I have a few little pieces. I have some butterflies, some floret pieces. I'm also going to use this gold trim and also this gold thread. So what I do is I place down my strips of paper. I'm going to have 2 strips of paper on each, and I'm just making sure that I'm doing them on the left side and the right side, so that in the packaging there's a little bit of differentiation, a little bit of change, there's a little bit of difference between each of the embellished tags. And I'm also making sure that the papers contrast really well on top of the ticket that they are sitting on top of. You could do these embellished tickets with actual tickets that you would get in either in an ephemera pack or from a store. So what I'm going to do with these tickets is I'm going to hot glue down these little paper strips. I'm using hot glue because they set straight away and I can work on them very quickly. I don't have to wait for wet glue to dry. Then I'm going to glue down this little die cut piece just straight on there. You can see a little bit of the glue, but I will cover that up later. And then I'm also going to stick down this little butterfly. That covers a little bit of the hot glue, and on all of them I use either a paper flower or I use some sort of embellishment to cover it up. This little butterfly, what I'm doing is I'm putting the gold one down the bottom and the white wood grain paper on top, just so it has a sort of a peeping effect, if you know what I mean. It kind of doesn't make sense, but when you look at it, if you look at the butterfly from the side, you can see the glitter paper underneath it, and I think it looks really cool on top of the tag. Particularly, when you're looking at embellishments from different angles, you're going to get a different look at it, and I really like how doing this technique gives you that effect. So I will then stick this down onto the paper strips, and what I'm going to do here is I'm getting a little bit of the gold thread, and I wrap it around my fingers a couple of times. Then I pull it off so it's just one long loop. I pinch it in the middle. I put a tiny little bit of hot glue in the middle. Just be careful not to burn myself. Then I give it a minute, and then I squeeze it in my fingers and I roll it through my fingers, and that is all I do. Then I just trim down the excess bit of thread, and that's how I do this kind of textural element to these tickets. I like adding texture to my DIY embellishments, either using tulle, trim, thread, different types of paper, so glitter paper compared to textured cardstock. I'm going to stick this butterfly down with the thread underneath it straight down, and that will be this ticket done. So I'm going to show you a close-up of these 2 tickets here. So this is the first one. You can see the thread just peeking out and a little bit of the gold underneath it. I think it looks really, really cute. And then here I have zoomed in a little bit. I've embellished all of the tags using the same technique that I did. So I've done the strips of paper, I've done the gold piece, and now I'm adding a 3D embellishment on top. So here I am just gluing some paper flowers on top to cover the kind of hot glue mess that I made when I was gluing down those really tiny floral leafy die cut pieces. And I'm also going to use a little bit of trim that I grabbed out before. This is a gold trim that I got from eBay. It's kind of it's a leaf trim. You can get them, I've seen them in lots of stores. I've seen them in $2 stores here in Australia. So if you're looking to get it, go have a look there. It's in the party section. I just got it off eBay because you could get a lot of it for a cheaper price. I'm just going to fiddle around with that and making sure that I've covered the hot glue as best as possible. So I'm putting the trim vertical and horizontally, again trying to get some different tickets on every single one. These look really cute if you put them on a layout. They obviously look really awesome if you put them in Happy Mail, but you could also use these in a planner or on a card. I'm just showing you a close-up of all of them. I think they look absolutely beautiful. I love how these have turned out. After I've done all of this, so this is the base of my ticket. You can leave it like this, but what I want to do is add some mini pearls. These pearls I got from a $2 store here in Australia. It was a pack of 10 for $5, so that's 50 cents each. And I'm just going to stick down some of the black ones, and I also think I stick down some light grey ones as well. Just in the corners, I stuck those ones down on the butterfly to give it a little body, and then I'm going to use this just to add again some more texture to the tickets. I will also be adding a tiny word sticker to some of these, but this is the embellished ticket basically for what it is. These are really quick to put together. I think these took me, if I cut out the time to die cut those little pieces, probably 15 minutes, and that's making it from start to finish. So these are really quick embellishments to put together. They're something that you can do if you don't have a lot of time, and they just look absolutely gorgeous when you've embellished them up and you put them in a packet. So what I'm going to do here is also add some little wood veneer. I love wood veneer, and I've also been loving trying to use my scrapbooking supplies to make Happy Mail lately before I dive into buying a whole bunch of Happy Mail supplies. So these little wood veneer pieces that I have are all from eBay. I'm not sure where I got them from because I've got them kind of over the last few years of scrapbooking, but if you go onto eBay and you just look up wood veneer, they have a very big supply of it. So I'm using some of these, I call them empty stars. They have the inside cut out of them. They're kind of the outline of a star, and they look really cool. I've also used some of the florally leafy pieces on one of them as well. The reason I'm using the wood veneer is it adds a nice warmth to the embellished tickets, and it also kind of adds some more texture because it does sort of feel very papery when you're putting a paper ticket with some paper layers and some paper die cuts. You know, if you use some wood veneer and some trim, it does look a bit more embellished. So here was another close-up of one of them. Then I've grabbed out these word stickers. These are from the reject store. I'm just putting these in order of how I want to put them into the into the packaging, and I'm just choosing the 2 that I think some tiny word stickers would look really nice on. I decided to not do it on all of them because I thought the person who I send these to, if they wanted to add some word stickers onto theirs, or they could write possibly some journaling on them, because they are quite plain ticket pieces, you could easily write journaling. I decided to leave them blank for that person. So this is a close-up of the sticker on there. I think this looks super cute. I love it so much, just like how the little tiny word sticker says there. These look amazing. I love how these turned out. They're going to be really hard to send off, but they're very easy to make, like I said before, and I probably will be making a lot more of these. So next we're going to be getting into how I made the packaging. So I've grabbed up 2 pieces of paper. These are both from the Maggie Holmes Shine collection, and I'm going to trim down this one here. This is what I'm going to put my tickets on, I like to use pattern paper because I think it looks a lot more handmade when you use pattern paper rather than just using blank paper or even acetate. You could do this however you want. I just really like to use pattern paper, and it also helps to use up your pattern paper stash. So I'm trimming down where I need my piece of paper to stop, and then I'm also going to trim down a section on my bag topper. So I trim down double the amount that I want on each side because I will fold it in half. I love this star paper that comes in the Shine collection because it goes with so many things. It looks Christmassy, it looks Halloweeny in my opinion, it also looks very magical. So this paper is very versatile along with that craft paper as well. So I've just folded it in half, and that is going to be the paper that I need for my packaging. Next, what I do is I'm just going to find the center of my bag topper here to cut it into a triangle. I did this because I wanted you to be able to see all of the tickets, and if the bag topper was not cut this way, you wouldn't be able to see it, and also adds a little bit more interest to the bag topper as well. So I'm cutting it out so it looks like a giant banner, and then I'm going to use the trim that I have on each side and stick that down with some hot glue. Once I've stuck it down with the hot glue, I'm going to do something a little bit interesting with some tulle. So this hot glue gun that I have, I got from Spotlight, and of course it has to be purple. If you're new to my channel, purple is my favorite color, and I've been searching for some purple scissors for a very long time to complete my purple stationery set. So I'm just going to cut ahead to where I've glued down that trim. Now that I've glued it down, I've grabbed out some black tulle from my stash. I bought this years ago from eBay. I'm cutting enough just so that it covers the front half of the bag topper because this is a little bit expensive for me, so I don't like to waste it. I'm going to then put some hot glue on, and I'm going to just stick the tulle straight down onto that hot glue, just being careful not to burn myself when I push it down. I like to let it set a little bit before I do that. Then I'm going to trim off the excess with my scissors, and this adds just another textural element to it. These are some fabric gold leaves that I again bought from eBay. You can probably get these in a lot of crafting stores. I haven't seen them here in Australia, that's why I bought them off of eBay. I'm grabbing some floral pieces from my stash. I sort my embellishments by what they are. So I have a bag of flowers, a bag of leaves, a bag of animals, objects like hearts, stars, squares. I have a heart bag because I have so many heart ones, and then I also have a random bag. So it's made it a lot easier to go through my embellishments when I know I want a flower, that I have all of my flowers together, and I didn't have to go through the 15 collections that I had because I had them left all in the collection. This has been really helpful for me. If you want a video on how I sort my ephemera, I could film that for you. Just let me know. What I'm doing is I'm going to glue that fabric leaf down. I've also put some double-sided tape onto the flower piece. Then I'm also going to put a I keep calling them florets, but I don't know what they are. Leaves. I'm going to glue these green leaves down. The ephemera that I'm using is all from the Reject store here in Australia. I think that is Rosie Studio in New Zealand, if I'm not mistaken. I think they just use a different name here in Australia, but they have really fantastic stuff and they're really cheap. That's why I love using them. I'm also going to grab these paper flowers from my stash. I have no idea where these are from. I got them in a D-stash ages ago. They're only about 1 centimeter wide. They're so stunning, and they also hold their shape really beautiful. A lot of other paper flowers that I've seen, like the Kaiser Craft ones, they kind of fall into themselves very easily, but these ones hold their shape beautifully. So if you know of any really good small mini paper flowers that hold their shape really well and don't get squished, please let me know because I want to get more of these. I'm going to stick down a word sticker from that book that I used before from Kaiser Craft, and that is basically this bag topper done. It's very simple to put this bag topper together because the embellished tags are so embellished. I didn't want to cover them up. I'm putting it into my plastic sleeve and I just fold it up over the back down the bottom, and then I'm folding over that leftover piece of paper. Then I'm going to just use my hot glue gun to glue down the bag topper. You don't have to do a bag topper or even package up these. I just like doing it because I was doing this for Happy Mail, and when I send out handmade embellishments, I like to package them up because I love the way that it looks. But that is basically this project done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I'm so obsessed with making Happy Mail lately, so stay tuned for a whole bunch of more Happy Mail videos. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like and a comment down below, and please subscribe. So I'll have a close-up for you at the end here. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I've just added some enamel dots. I will see you all next week. Bye guys!